Welcome to another Founders Podcast, Episode 2. Now I have Emanuel, our CTO, the Gigabrain building, our product at Skillful, the man leading all the technology behind us. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, JD. Thank you for having me. Super happy to be here.
Nice, man. So yeah, we had a post about, like multiple questions. We actually have like 30 plus. Like the community is quite excited about the product. Now, obviously, AI is quite hot at the moment. And, people are wondering, like, where do you see AI going in the future, or like other stuff, like what makes us different and stuff like that. I wanted to ask you, like people to get to know you as well, like more about your background, who's the brain behind like what we have coming on for Skillful.
Yeah, absolutely. So should I start by introducing myself?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Emanuel. I'm super passionate about machine learning and decentralization in general. I've been working as a machine learning engineer for the last 8 years or so. What can I say? I've been working in a huge corporations such as Intel and Apple. And a few years ago, I realized that I really want to build something that can contribute and have a positive impact in the world. And that's how I decided that I should pursue my dream and build the Skillful AI. So basically, the idea is to empower the humanity by enabling them to use AI tools without these concerns that they may have that they are like training their AI replacement, or that at some point under the hood, the knowledge that they are sharing with these AI tools could be stolen or taken and used for something that they won't approve.
Yeah. So like, I think that leads me to, we were talking the other day about what exactly led you to this, the Skillful idea. Well, obviously, you've been working with, like you said, like Apple, Intel, like big corporations. You're, before Skillful, you're an AI user yourself. I know you've built your own AI models even in the past. So what exactly led you to build Skillful? Like, what was the moment that led you to, like, I need to build this?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a beautiful question. So actually what happened was that I was using AI by myself on a daily basis, and I realized that I was being much more productive, that I could do like 3 times what I used to do before AI. But also I have like this concern. Well, I also noticed that as I interact more and more with the tools,
Yeah.
I get more value from them because I actually understood how to get the output that I was looking for. And I realized that this was kind of an art. It's a mix between a science and an art, because you have to know how to interact with these tools to get the most value from them. And also, as you interact with them, you are refining your prompt, you are giving feedback to these tools.
Yeah.
And this process actually creates a lot of value.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of value just on the feedback that you give to your models or to the models. And at that moment, I realized that I thought to myself, wait a second, what I'm doing right here, right now, has a lot of value. I'm sharing a lot of useful information with these models. And under the hood, what could be happening is that these big corporations are taking all of this knowledge that I'm sharing for free, and I don't know what they're gonna do with this model. Well, actually, I do know. They are gonna take that knowledge and refine their models.
Yeah.
And at some point, they are taking from me all of this experience that I have built by myself, and they are using it just to get better products. But they're gonna be the only ones that benefit from these interactions. So at that moment, I decided that I want to build something that will empower people to continue using AI and to get the most value from these tools, but removing the concerns that they may have in terms of just giving for free all of this knowledge that they have.
Yeah, pretty much just like you're training your replacement when you're using these like, mainstream models, you could say. They grab your data, you're like using it for your job on a daily basis. So it's like all the skills that you have are going to someone else. You're training your replacement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's pretty much like what you're saying is like you can really customize and personalize that relationship that you have with your own, with that AI in a specific until it like serves you a better purpose.
Yeah, I mean, you as a human being, no matter what you do, you have built a lot of unique experiences, and every single human being have a lot of custom knowledge that they have developed through their whole life. And these skills are unique. And what is happening under the hood is that as they interact with these models, they are transferring all of these unique skills to the models.
Yeah.
And as I said before, the corporations are taking this knowledge and we don't know what they're gonna do with them. So
Yeah.
I want to empower people to feel confident that they can use as much as they want these tools, but always have full ownership of the
Yeah.
custom skills that they have developed.
Yeah, we're big on privacy. We have some big partnerships like kind of announced. We're still waiting to go fully public on exactly how we're doing that. But yeah, the thing about Skillful is like you can go fully confident into you have the full ownership and you can personalize it as much as you want. It's yours. It's your model. So it's your relationship. So you're just like bettering a model for yourself. So it's like it serves your purpose. You're not selling yourself or training your replacement. So that's quite good. Something that I was talking to you the other day that caught my attention a lot is that some people might not be aware that AI has ChatGPT is quite recent, but AI in itself is like an old technology. It's been here for like many years, and we just recently had a boom. So with that being said, like with this explosive change in AI, and it's like, where do you see AI going now that you've been involved with AI for so long? That you see this drastic change, like where do you see that going in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So the main thing here is that you can't stop technology, and technology will continue evolving with or without you. That's why I want people to stop having fear of using these tools, because the technology by itself is not something positive or bad. It depends on how you decide to use it. And to answer your question directly, I definitely see AI continue evolving.
Yeah.
Well, right now there is this big trend of multimodal models.
Yeah.
That by itself is a huge thing. People still don't realize how powerful could be the models used by expanding. It's like giving them an additional sense. Before they were just able to process text, and now they are able to combine text plus images or video. That by itself is a huge thing, and technology will continue evolving. We can see like a lot of different areas evolving, like long-term memory, AI that
Right.
could have a better thought process, having larger context. So all of this will continue evolving, and we're gonna start seeing like AI tightly coupled with gaming, with metaverse, and with a lot of different experiences.
Right. You mentioned a long-term memory. I know that's a current issue that we have with AI. For example, if you have an open session with one of the current mainstream models, you might ask him like, or you might tell him like, my favorite color is red. Then you change the subject and you ask him, what's my favorite color, and he completely says something random. So it doesn't really remember even the same session. So we're building that. Well, you're building that.
Yeah.
So how exactly does that work in the back end? Like how can we achieve that without taking huge amount of resources?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this topic by itself is extremely important, because let's say that you are just having your personal assistant. You needed to remember what are the food allergies that you may have,
Yeah.
or you needed to remember what is your profile as an investor. So it customizes what investments would make sense given your profile. So this is huge, and I would say that there are a lot of different things that could be done to solve this memory issue. For instance, one of the main things is to enable like external memory mechanisms, where you can store all of these memories, and the model giving a prompt could go to this external database, search for the memory that is related with the question,
Yeah.
and just pull the memory from there. But here we are in Skillful AI, we think that that's not enough. That's a huge thing, and it's
Yeah.
extremely powerful, but that's not enough by itself. So we want to build our own memory models, and that means that these models will be entirely in charge of identifying what are the informations or the sentences that contain more relevant information,
Yeah.
and will detect them, encode them, and vectorize them. That means that from a given prompt that could have like let's say 10,000 words. So it identify from that 10,000 words what are the sentences that have more relevant information, more meaningful information, and just extract them, vectorize them, and store them. So we are like storing dimensions of information that will be available in the future for additional questions.
Nice. Yeah, that's a huge thing for the personalized assistants as well. how can it be an assistant if it can remember your basic needs, your allergies, like you mentioned as well. And I know you see AI going way wilder. Like these whole personalized assistants could be even like I know you were thinking about like a Jarvis, for example, in the future type of thing. So that's quite cool. So how drastic do you see that change in AI? Like how much do you think we can see AI go in the next, like, I don't know, 3-5 years, for example?
I'm glad that you mentioned Jarvis because that's actually part of my inspiration. Yeah, I definitely see AI being embedded in a lot of different devices. So you can have an AI like managing your household, for instance, or just the expenses that you produce in your household. And I can see AI like extremely involved in our day-to-day tasks. So let's say that everything that you do could have some AI mechanism under the hood.
Yeah, I mean, even right now, on a daily basis, you see like big announcements of like new features like powered by AI. I know some ChatGPT, but now I think like every single app that I have could be like video creation. I don't know, images, so just a Google search, just Google Docs, for example. Everything has some level of AI integrated to it. So like I think with this Jarvis thing, for example, it's like every single device that you have in your house could be, as long as it can be connected to the internet, it could pretty much be powered by that AI. Or I don't even know if it needs to be connected to the
It
internet.
doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't. Let me answer here. Yeah, the technology has been evolving so fast in the last years that
Yeah.
now we are leading to a direction where you can have like these huge LLMs models
Yeah.
directly in your phone and access them without even the need to have an internet connection. So yeah, those local models, that's a huge thing by itself.
Yeah.
Just having the convenience and the power of AI, but directly in your local devices, that will empower a lot of different use cases.
Yeah, I saw recently an announcement from, I think it was NVIDIA, that they're preparing something directly for your local computer. So it's like AI for your own PC. So like it manages all your files and stuff like that. It's not like an internet-based thing. Um, in terms of like our lineup of products, we have a bunch of stuff coming out. It's a whole ecosystem. Um, will they need to be connected to the internet to use like some of our models, or do we plan to, depending on how they customize it, have that ability to also use it like offline, for example?
Well, will be a mix for sure. I mean, if you want to have like 200 billion parameters, probably you want to store it in a different device or in the cloud. But for certain tasks where you don't want to expose your private data,
Yeah.
it makes more sense to have the model directly in your device, so it never leave like your zone of control.
Yeah.
So yeah, for certain tasks, let's say taxes or financial information, ideally we want to have those models deployed locally. So yeah, the users are always in control of their data.
Cool, man. So, we have right now have the alpha model coming up. We've been getting some decent feedback from it, and that's just like 1% of what we have coming up. That's just like for users to test out that there's actually, I mean, we have like over 100, I think, in the alpha at the moment, like different models that they can choose from. So it's like preparing them, the users to, with one prompt, all these different models could react differently. So they don't need to be as huge of a model to perform a specific task. So a smaller model could be better at a certain task that you need yourself personally to, and that could be like a best-based model than, for example, one of the big ones for your own AI assistant. So in terms of that, we have this week the multimodal models. We have the collaboration mode. What do we have next coming on in our lineup?
Yeah, absolutely. We are just starting, to be honest. I mean, the Model Hub start as a playground and mostly as an educational tool, so users can compare the different performance across these 100 models. Because as you mentioned, there is a wide range of sizes in terms of LLMs, and there will be some cases where you don't want to use a huge LLM just to answer a simple question.
Yeah.
You would rather have a small model that has less latency or could perform much better in certain tasks.
Yeah.
In terms of what's next, I'm super excited for the future, for sure. The
Yeah.
future looks extremely bright. I'm super excited for the Image Hub, where I envision it to be a place where any kind of image transformation powered by AI could be performed. And also, I'm super eager to start building and releasing our builder tool,
Yeah.
where non-technical users will be able to build and stack a series of APIs and tools to solve their daily needs.
That's a huge thing, the AI builder. It's a drag and drop feature. It's good thing for something so complex like building a fully personalized assistant. You might need to have some, knowledge of coding, of programming, or software engineer background. But it's literally made for everyone. Like Skillful AI is for the people, it's for the masses. So how can something so complex be done with just like a drag and drop feature? Because that's super amazing. And also, yeah, the image hub. I would say I'm the number one person without waitlist to use it. I luckily have the chance of telling you like, hey, I need this, like please include that, because I'm gonna be using it like on a daily basis for sure with Skillful as well. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, tell us about the AI builder, because that's like super interesting topic for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know that the Image Hub, we are building that tool, having you in mind as a customer for us. So don't worry, we got you. And yeah, for the builder, that's the magic of programming. I mean, the thing is that you can build this modular block of codes that are able to perform like complex tasks. But once you build them, you don't need to build them again from scratch. That's already an asset. And what we want to do is to build all of these complex scripts and then expose them just as a simple block that people can drag and integrate directly into their products or into their assistants, and just leverage those assets that we are creating for them.
Yeah. So when do you think? I think the Alpha Model Hub is complete, because we're releasing weekly features for it. So that's something super exciting, because every week we have something new in there. We're opening new spaces for people to test it out, get some feedback. Spoiler alert there. We have community incentives, and users actually will be rewarded. The early testers will have a chance to, come in there and help us, get some feedback about the AI model hub. The thing you were telling the other day is something about rating the different answers across different models, because that is going to be useful for us to build our own Skillful model, because we're actually going to have our own LLM, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're gonna start building our own series of models. And initially, as I mentioned before, the Model Hub start as an educational tool. But now we want to go to the next step, which is now that we educate users on what are the advantages and disadvantages of each models, we want them to give us feedback on what models they feel that are more useful.
Yeah.
So we can start like grabbing those models as our base models and start doing some fine tuning, additional training. So we build our own models, always having the community in mind.
Yeah.
And just by being able to have direct feedback from them, and use that feedback to train our models, that will be huge, because we're gonna be like just leveraging all the information that users are feeding to us just to train our own series of models.
Cool. So that part of the training, like see what data is used to train our model, brings me to something that a lot of people, when I talk about Skillful AI in general, many of them ask me this question, and is your AI, censored? It's gonna be like Google, that is like super woke, and it changes a lot of stuff. Like it's not even accurate at all. It's like it will change it to fit a certain narrative, so it's not even useful, because it's not gonna fit your real aspect. So like how are we in terms of censorship and free speech? Like I think that's an interesting topic in recent years for a lot of people. So I'm excited to share about that.
Yeah, thank you for asking that. And the answer is hell no. I mean, we don't want any kind of limitation. And yes, we're gonna build our own models. They don't gonna have any kind of constraint, but also users will be able to train their own models, and they're gonna be in charge of deciding what data they want to use for building their models.
Yeah.
So it's not that us as a Skillful AI, we are building these models without any limitation, but also users will be able to do the same by themselves and deciding what data they think that is a fact, because there is this great area where you don't know what is true or what is a fact and what is not. And we want to empower users to decide by themselves. I don't think that it's fair that a big corporation decide what is true for them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're not getting the real facts. You're just getting like what this corporation wants you to believe it's true. So I think that's a really good opportunity for people to actually get on board with, they need to get the real data, they need to get the real information. I think it's only fair. So I'm really glad, and that's one of the things I like the most about Skillful is, not only you can customize it, not only it's private, you're also able to use it like how you want it to be used. You're not limited by, in this case, ourselves, limit the user into like, you can only do certain things with the system. It's like you're free to actually, whatever idea you have in mind, come here to Skillful, we'll give you the tools for you to create whatever idea you have in mind, and it's something I really like.
Yeah, let me comment something here briefly, because I think that it's important to tell the users how this process will go.
Yeah.
And let's say that you are a user and you own a custom data set or a series of data that you want to use to train your model.
Yeah.
So you feed the model, a base model that we're going to be providing, you feed it with your own data. And through this training process, you are adapting or updating the model weights based on the knowledge that you are feeding at the current time.
Yeah.
So these updated weights that you are generated, we're gonna give those weights entirely to the user that created. So it's not that we're gonna grab that knowledge and just stack it over our models.
Yeah.
It's that we're gonna generate those weights of those model parameters, and the user that generate those weights will be entirely in charge and owning that particular set of weights. So how they decide to use it, if they want to sell those weights, if they want to trade in or just list it, they're gonna be able to decide what they want to do with that knowledge that the model has.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's really like a free speech tool, pretty much. Build whatever you want to. I love that stuff. Let's jump to some questions. Well, actually, before we continue to some questions, I wanted to ask you, because based on the AI builder as well, I've seen a few people have seen the demo. I've seen the demo, and from what it looks like, is like you can pretty much connect almost every tool to the builder, pretty much. So like how flexible or how open is that? Like how many options do you really have to build that on top of your assistant? Like can we connect them to like almost every app, or how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the first release, we are planning to deploy 400 integrations. Nice. Initially. So it will be a series of the most useful APIs, such as Stripe, Google, and a series of APIs that users will benefit from. And then we're going to continue building. I mean, we are just starting, and we plan to integrate AI with everything. Yeah. So, and users will be also able to provide us feedback. And if they request a tool, we're going to start building for them, for sure.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to, take the community in mind, into like, if you want a specific tool that for some reason we might not have, even though like, you said 400, that's a big number of tools for them to play around. Yeah, we'll take that into consideration. Also, like to train the data as well, like what data to use to train the models. I think that's big. I mean, I've said a lot to the people in our community. It's like, we're big in community. Like, we're here to take their opinions in mind, to build this project. Like, the idea is for it to be an useful tool for them.
I mean, that's the beauty of crypto in general.
Yeah.
That's why we decided to build Skillful AI, which is an AI first company, but also tightly integrated with crypto, because we actually care about our users, our community, and that's the beauty of crypto, that you can actually get back something to your community.
Yeah, that's we're big on giving back. We're big on community. It's a free speech tool. We open the gates to creativity, and also it's like a save yourself tool as well. Like, instead of like getting replaced by others, like we'll give you the tool to save yourself, pretty much. So I think that's really amazing. So after the AI builder, I think, when is that coming? When do you think that's coming soon to our platform?
Well, I have to say that our team has been growing very fast in the last 2 weeks. So to be honest, I don't know where our limits are currently, because we have been growing super fast. I would say that in a couple of months at most, we're going to be able to release the first version of the builder.
That's quite soon. That's even sooner than I expected, to be honest.
Glad to hear.
Quite cool to have that option. Because even before that, we'll have certain assistants out. I think the image builder is coming before that, if I believe, right?
Yeah, the image hub will be our next product. then in parallel, we are also building our own series of LLMs models
Yeah.
and also our own series of visual models. And yeah, the builder will be next. But in the meantime, we are also gonna grab all of these base models and integrating with a series of APIs or tools
Yeah.
just to build like useful agents. So let's say that you want to know what is the current performance of your portfolio in the last week. You can ask that question directly to our assistant and just have a direct answer.
It's gonna be quite hot this year, right?
It is. Yeah, that's a
Probably
product.
the one that's gonna be trending.
That's a product that I really want to use
Me
by
too.
myself.
I'm gonna need it before I even more Solana influence. To know before I more. But
You do.
now that you mentioned the couple things I want to touch on is the image builder as well, because we're not just bringing like another image AI. Like this is actually coming here to beat the competition. I would say from what I've talked with you, it sounds like we're here to challenge Midjourney, we're here to challenge DALL-E. We're actually here to build like the number one image builder, like image AI that you can have.
Yes, we are. And there are two main sides here. One, we want to empower non-technical users to
Yeah.
leverage these tools easily and smoothly. But also on the other side, we want to empower developers that they may have their own ideas
Yeah.
just to come to our platform and develop these ideas with us. So we want to be their partners to provide them with the tools, with the base models, so they can leverage all of these toolkits and just build their own models. So the rest of the community can also benefit from the ideas that skilled developers may have.
Yeah, it's a big point because we mention all the time how Skillful is like so simple, drag and drop and stuff like that. Like for the people, you don't need a coding background, but we are actually here also for the developers as well. So like, if it's that simple for the regular guy, it's even gonna be bigger for if you're a developer as well. Like you have like playground pretty much built like amazing stuff.
Yeah, it will be a playground plus a toolkit that will
Yeah.
enable to do everything that you may dream to do with AI in a very easy way.
Nice. I was gonna ask you something else in terms of the models, because we've been talking about like quite all the different models and open source. Recently, Elon Musk made an announcement that Grok is going to be open source as well. That's a lot of people also call it like the free speech AI. For example, Elon Musk is big on that, so that's a perfect narrative for us as well. So do you think we're gonna have that integrated soon in Skillful?
Yeah, absolutely. This particular topic is something that I'm extremely interested in because I really hate censorship.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Same
I mean, I can't stand censorship, and I know that Elon Musk is fighting its own
Yeah.
fight against OpenAI. He called it like closed AI, right?
Yeah.
And he has its own reasons, but yeah, if he's developing a tool or a model that he called it to be like the real open AI,
Yeah.
we want to have it in our ecosystem. And that's the beauty of our ecosystem as well, that yes, we are building our own series of models, but we are also here to integrate other providers because there are a lot of great companies that are doing amazing stuff with their products. And we don't see them as competition. We actually see them as partners. And we want to have them as part of our ecosystem for sure.
Yeah, it's something that I think, talking to the team a long time ago when I was like first joining, is that Skillful is pretty much an infrastructure to, if it's set up in a way that if something newer and better comes to the market, like Skillful is set up in a way that we'll be the first ones to be able to integrate it. So like the goal is to pretty much bring always the latest things, the best things to the community, and it's gonna be like in a all-in-one place. So, like other projects, for example, because I know that we have questions. I've seen that in the post that a lot of people ask, like, how is Skillful different than other AI projects and stuff like that. Like, a lot of these projects are just like they have ChatGPT under the hood, and that's about it. And have a token, and boom, yeah, that's cool and everything. But that's first of all makes it slower. We've seen that when testing on the model hub. You can see the different speeds depending on the model as well. But then it's like you're not really bringing anything new to the market, and also if that specific company goes down or something happens, where there's a drastic change, the project that is just reliant on that one LLM or that one company has like full exposure to it. So whatever happens to the other one, they're cooked, they're done for. And Skillful is set up in a way that not only we're not only dependent on just hundreds of them. So like if one goes down, it's like, oh, that's cool, man. We have like all this still on the platform, but also if something new comes on, it's like coming over. We'll bring it to the community. I think that's a huge thing in terms of like why we're different as well. But I think we probably have a lot of more stuff to talk to from the tech side of like how what we're building is much different than other AI projects at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. There are two main things here. First of all, AI is huge and will continue growing and growing. So I don't think that a single company can have like the monopoly of AI, because there will be a lot of advancements in a lot of different directions. So I actually think that a lot of companies will continue doing amazing stuff, and we want to have it in our ecosystem, as I said. So I see Skillful as the internet of AI, because we want to bring all of these amazing companies and their tools to our ecosystem. And also we want to build our own tools. And since we have a lot of feedback from the community, we are also able to see the advantages and disadvantages of certain tools. We can learn from them and just use this knowledge to build our own series of tools in a much better way. Something important here, for instance, ChainGPT, which they have like their own blockchain portfolio assistant or something like that. I actually think that that's a great product, and I actually want to build something similar. It's not because, I mean, I see them as a partner. They are doing amazing stuff, but that's a huge topic by itself. And I think that giving options to the users, it's always good. I mean, just to be able to decide what option fits better to your needs, it's always a good thing.
Yeah, it's like it takes us back to the whole OpenAI versus close AI. I mean, you need collaboration. You need to expand. It's impossible for just one company to have like a monopoly of everything. It's literally not happening. It's gonna, you're gonna be subjected to a few individuals. You're gonna be subjected to narratives as well, tech-wise as well. It's gonna be quite hard for just one to do that. I think we need collaboration as well. And the internet of AI, I think I really like that analogy. It's just like, you don't see another website as enemy or competition of the internet. It's just like, it comes here and it betters the internet. You have another option there. So that's quite cool there. Can you take us in a little bit more in the roadmap of Skillful? Like we obviously have our line of products, have the AI builder, they're going to have like the marketplace and the branded AI. But what do you think Skillful is going to be in the long term? A lot of people have asked that in that to me in the past as well, and it's quite exciting because I think we're going beyond just AI as well in what we're building. That's quite exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm super happy that you asked this, because this is a topic that I'm extremely passionate about it. First of all, I see Skillful as the go-to place for doing anything AI and crypto related.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. I want to see our ecosystem like integrating all the best tools, being there for solving any kind of need that the users may have.
Yeah.
But also there are a lot of technologies that we want to combine. So there are a lot of things that are happening in the video games area. Yeah. There are a lot of things happening in the metaverse, in the AI and blockchain. And I definitely see that in the upcoming years, all of those technologies will continue evolving by themselves, but they also will continue like interacting even closer between them. Yeah. So I definitely see Skillful as being the go-to place for everything gaming, AI, and crypto related. Yeah.
So we're actually tapping into that GameFi. I mean, I know like some of the people that are coming into the team are big on that area, and we sort of this treasure hunt game, for example, it's developing quite further than that, and I know have like some cool stuff coming from that side as well. Can you expand on that, or is that still like quite censored for the public, before we can actually announce it?
Probably I can't disclose a lot of details, but I can say this. That's the beauty of working on something that you are extremely passionate about it, because we start this video game, right? This mini video game as part of a marketing campaign, the treasure hunt. And then we just felt so in love with it that we decided to continue improving it. And now it has grown so much that we actually think that we can't stop it. So, so that's the beauty. And that makes us realize that we really want to continue pushing the limits of gaming in general. So we really see like AI and gaming having a very close relationship between
Yeah,
our
totally,
ecosystem.
totally agree on that. I mean, I think you can use AI to build a lot of things and even developing. There was this tool called, I think it's called Devin. I saw a clip about it like a few days ago that is like pretty much about coding and it has like its own terminal. Like you can do like pretty much everything in there. Like if you have AI already into programming, why not for video games as well? Like I think it's if anything, that's the best way to go into personalization and actually speed things up a bit. And if we're a platform about building, I think it makes perfect sense to actually expand into that. I know the team is also, like you said, expanding quite aggressive. So I'm looking forward to that. I know Jacob for sure is as well. He's a big gamer guy. So
Yeah, absolutely. And there are a bunch of different use cases that we want to enable here. Let's say you can build your own video games and supported by an AI companion that help you in the process of building a video game.
Yeah.
You can also uh, rent or buy an AI character, an NPC,
Yeah.
and just plug in within your video game. You can also have like an AI helping you to render certain scenarios
Yeah.
or certain worlds just by the power that they have to create these super realistic images or videos.
yeah.
So there are a lot of things that AI and gaming will continue building together for sure.
So it's like we're big on customization, and it looks like we're bringing that into gaming as well, which I think is a perfect scenario. Like people sometimes would like to change certain parts of the video game, and otherwise I think it's really cool. I think we can give them the chance with this kind of stuff that we have coming up. So that's quite cool. I remember that game for this marketing campaign. I expected it to be something small, like something just simple for a word, and then I tested it out and it's like, dude, what? Like this feels like Fortnite. Like to be honest, it's an amazing thing. So I'm really happy that we're spending on that as well.
Yeah, and I have to say in that regard that
Yeah.
we are so lucky to have a team of passionate engineers
Yeah.
because that mini game just born from a simple idea, and then our developers has been so passionate about building that game that now I'm super excited to play it by myself.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the beauty of having people that love what they do.
Actually, that brings me to one of the questions that I'm seeing here from people, and I suppose that it's like, how far do you think like AI can get into the gaming sector?
As far as possible. I mean,
Yeah.
there would be a point where AI, video games, metaverse would be the same thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be like one whole ecosystem pretty much. It's just like areas of it, all like in a synergy pretty much.
100%. 100%.
We're expanding in that. There's a spicy question here, but it says like, why do you think NFTs are a good way to go since the NFT market is dead? Before we respond, I mean, it's like we're not like the AI assistants are not like a JPEG collection. Like I think you can expand on that, but pretty much it's a technology and it's for ownership.
Absolutely. That's a great question, to be honest. First of all, NFT is a technology. And it's a little bit sad that people has exploited this technology mostly by making or by to do ownership of images,
Yeah.
because that doesn't explode the real potential of that technology. And it's a little bit sad to hear that people think that NFTs are dead, because that's kind of true, to be honest, but it's because we are not exploiting all the potential for this technology. So what we want to do with NFT is to empower users to have true ownership of the AI asset. So as you said, it's not that they're gonna be owning a JPG image or a PNG
Yeah.
image. It's that they are owning a series of weights, which is a model by itself. It's the knowledge that you are transferring to your model that you're gonna be owning as an NFT.
Yeah.
So I actually think that we want to use NFTs because that will enable us to show humanity that NFTs are real powerful technology.
Yeah.
And that will also increase adoption. And that's something that I feel extremely passionate about it, just to continue helping to increase the adoption of crypto in general.
Yeah.
And especially with NFTs, which is a beautiful technology. I think that we are just helping to spread the power that NFT could have.
Yeah, it's quite a good technology. I think it just hasn't been exploited the way it can, and we're doing that. But also, like, it's not even just that. I think even for the marketplace that we'll have coming on, like it just facilitates so much the fact that you can, buy, rent, or sell an assistant from other people in a super simple way. Um, I guess a lot of people might ask, like, if you train your own model, right, or your own assistant, and you actually go on and sell it, how do you keep your own information private if you use it to like fine tune an assistant? Like, how does that work? I know it's possible.
It is. That actually requires like a modular design.
Yeah.
So there will be certain information that you don't want to disclose or you don't want to expose to other users.
Yeah.
So there will be like, imagine this as a series of layers that the model has. Each layer has certain knowledge.
Yeah.
So there will be certain knowledge that you feel confident that you can expose to the public. So you're gonna be like exposing those particular layers, but the layers where you keep your personal information, you probably will keep those only to you.
Nice. So you can still, go fully into personalization and still be able to monetize without worrying about that. I think that's quite cool. Like you just pretty much lay down the foundation for the other person to go and like input their own data. And I think we're working on some stuff about like even collaborative data as well. Without the need of the other person see exactly your data, but they can manipulate it to a degree. That's part of one of the partnerships that we have like in the background as well.
Exactly. And again, that's the beauty of crypto. There are
Yeah.
a lot of things going on and a lot of projects that have a lot of amazing ideas, and we want to partner with all of them. So
Yeah.
if there is a blockchain that is doing something amazing and really disruptive, we really want to partner with them.
Yeah.
And that's the case of this partner that you are mentioning. They actually enable computing without the need of decrypting the information.
Yeah.
So that means that you can access a LLM or a model, send a prompt, and the model never see what is actually on the prompt.
Yeah.
So that's never decrypted, and no one else see what was that interaction. Only the user who has ownership of that information
Yeah.
and owns those secrets will be able to decode the model response.
But it's just amazing, really, to be honest. And now that we're diving into partnerships as well, I know one of the questions said like, what kind of like collaborations or Skillful AI plan to do, or like, what would be like a dream partner of Skillful AI? I guess like in that tech regard, and then maybe we can also touch on like one of our other partners like Moon AI, because I mean we did an AMA and Twitter kind of like ruined us with that. Like only the speakers could listen to it and they were still recording. So like I guess like we can kind of touch on that aspect because a lot of people like miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, let me say that I love the guys from Use Moon AI. They have an amazing product. And I'm really happy to be working closely with them in the recent days. Also Scale, which is a
Oh yeah.
gasless blockchain powered by Ethereum, an hybrid layer 1, layer 2. It's an amazing tool, to be honest. And just by having this core concept of gasless transactions,
Yeah.
that enable us to bring like Web2 experiences,
Exactly.
powered by Web3, which is huge.
Yeah, for the Web2 people, because our plan as Skillful is not just to, I mean, also we're part AI and we're part crypto, but we're not just in crypto as well. Like our audience is not just like crypto people. Obviously, we love them and we love crypto, but like this is a product that every single person can benefit from. Like it's not only that you don't need a developer background, but also you don't need to be like a crypto savvy person or even know about crypto to be able to use this technology. So that's, I think that's quite a nice thing for us to like bring that to the people, and also as a company, because we're almost like not restricted in a sense of like, oh, the bull market ends and then like that's where the product ends, or like that's where the Skillful ends. Like no, like the bull market comes and we can expand and develop across just like another tech company, pretty much.
100%. Let me tell you that Skillful born as a user-centric company. That means that we actually want to make as easy as possible the whole interaction with our ecosystem. And we know that crypto in general have certain gaps
Yeah.
that have affect a little bit adoption. So we want to remove those barriers, and we want to see us as a bridge that will help to increase adoption and to onboard Web2 only users
Yeah.
to the world to the Web3 world,
Yeah.
because the experience will be so smooth that they won't even notice it.
Yeah. So it helps with adoption even, to be honest. Because when, they start with the platform, they don't even realize there's some Web3 products. They realize that it's under the hood, and it's like, well, maybe I'll take a look into what this whole crypto thing is, and it's like it's a better way than just, it's like divided opinion here, because some people are against meme coins, some people love them and stuff like that. Some people says like it hurts adoption, but I think this is quite a smooth approach for people who shows that there's actually real utility behind the technology. It's not about like the price goes up and down. There's actually a technology behind that is benefit us. It can benefit us all. So that's I love that aspect, and I think that also lays a foundation for Skillful to be a long-term project. We're not just here to take advantage of a run or something like that. Like, we're actually building something here, and we're here for the long term. And that's one of the questions that, like, where do you see Skillful going in the future? Like a 5-year roadmap, for example. Like, maybe that's a little bit exaggerated there, because 5 years, like, a lot of things that change. Like, even the AI technology is going to be quite different there. But I know the whole team has very long-term goals. So, like, for example, what are your goals with Skillful? Or where do you see it going into the future?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It's kind of hard to forecast where AI will be in the next 5 years, because a lot of things will change in a matter of months in AI.
Drastic,
Exactly.
like you've told me.
Exactly. But what we do know is that we want to be there, and we want to be everything. We want to be like touching all of those disruptive technologies. We want to have them in our ecosystem, and we want to enable people to do all sort of crazy stuff with technology. So if there is a need, and there is something that technology could do to solve that need, to solve that problem, Skillful will be there for sure.
Yeah, it's like a place to just keep on building. Whatever technology throws at us in the next years, like, we'll try to build on top of it and keep going. It's just about adaptation in the market, in business-wise and also technology-wise. I think that's the way to go.
100%, 100%. And I want to get back to one of your points, which is that's why I really love the fact that we are using NFTs technologies, because again, some people think that NFTs are a scam, right?
Yeah.
And we want actually to change that narrative. We want to show users that NFTs could do a lot, could have or could represent real value.
Yeah.
And that's why encapsulating or wrapping up these assistants within an NFT makes a lot of sense to me, because that will actually give some real value to an NFT rather than just being a nice image.
Yeah. Now that you're talking about NFTs, and you mentioned Scale as well recently, our game is going to be, it's going to be a free NFT game. And so it's going to be free, like they can actually mint an NFT to enter the game, and it's going to be like gasless. There's not going to be any cost at all.
Indeed. Sounds good, right?
Yeah, that's quite amazing.
It
For
is.
a partnership that have their scale, that's an amazing technology. Gasless transactions, that's, boy, I wish I had that in the last cycle.
Something that I really feel proud about Skillful AI is the amazing partners that we have been able to connect with in the last month. So all of this is thanks to Scale, which is an amazing blockchain. So kudos to them.
Yeah, I'm just reading the questions, and someone actually, I think we kind of already mentioned this, but it's like, how can a regular Web2 user use Skillful AI on a day-to-day basis? And I think they can't. They don't even notice it's going to be.
Exactly. That's our goal. That they won't even notice it, for sure.
Nice. I love it. I think we've gone through like most of the questions here. Let me see if there's something that I haven't touched on. So it's like, how much can AI crypto grow in the next 12 months? Like, what do you think, maybe personally? Because crypto-wise, I think it depends on a lot of factors to just AI, but AI are in fact like one of the hottest niches at the moment.
Absolutely. But even though it's a super hot market for AI, it hasn't exploded yet.
Yeah.
It hasn't exploded yet. So I think that the AI potential is huge. And I actually heard a statistic recently that AI was it was out of the top 10 niches for blockchain in general. And I definitely see growing and being one of the top 3.
Yeah, I mean, also like top 10 for sure. And I would even argue that it's like biggest one at the moment, to be honest. Like GameFi, I think goes side by side. But I mean, luckily we're in both, so
Indeed.
that benefits us all. And that reminds me of a conversation we were having about like how explosive the AI development has been, because it's literally comparable to like a crypto chart. You know, like you see like it has gone up a lot, and then it keeps going so much more than the previous like expansion that it had. Looks like it was nothing. And I think we're about to witness that with AI as well. Like we had like these couple of years, a huge boom. But like this could literally, if you're comparing it to like a crypto chart, like to how a pump looked like back when crypto was like $100 or something like that. Like I think AI can grow so much more.
100%. I really think that this decade will be remembered as the AI decade, because there was this huge explosion and breakthrough thanks to transformers,
Yeah.
which is the technology that powered ChatGPT, for instance. And then after transformers, the technology has continued growing and growing. Now we see multimodal models. Now we see models that are able to generate video just from a simple prompt. Then we're gonna see models that are able to generate a complete video game
Yeah.
from a prompt, for instance. So yeah, for sure, in the next years, AI will continue growing and evolving, and in the next 20 years, let's say, people will remember this decade as the decade where AI
Yeah.
actually born.
Like a chatbot is gonna look like nothing in a few years, and that's something quite amazing to mention. Like a video game created for just a single prompt. Recently, you know, we had stuff about like creating a whole video with just a prompt with OpenAI, for example. But like, it's going to get much more wilder than that. Like, the whole
100%.
video game, like, future is the dystopian future, man.
Well, it could be dystopian or it could be something really positive, depending
Yeah.
on what players are actually in the game and what are they doing to actually get something positive from it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It depends on the players, and that's why I'm happy to be part of Skillful AI. I think like we're at least one of the good ones fighting for the positive change and positive use of the technology for the people. So yeah, just love to be here and love to know what we're building. Love to know that the developers behind it are like pro free speech and no censorship. I think a lot of people will appreciate that as well. I think humanity as a whole will benefit from it as well.
100%. I mean, I couldn't be more happy. This is my fight. This is for what I was born
Yeah.
just to fight this battle and,
Yeah,
and
you're-
protect or try to protect humanity.
That's
somehow.
your grain of salt that you can give to humanity pretty much. Like,
Exactly.
use all that knowledge and to build something positive for people. So that's something quite amazing. I think we've gone through like most of the questions, but I don't know if before we wrap it up, if you have like any final messages or thoughts that you want to like share with the community. I don't know, it could be like anything skillful related or just AI or personal.
Well, I would say for all of that people that are listening to us right now and they are curious about blockchain or AI in general or just technology,
Yeah.
we're extremely lucky to be alive in these times where there is a lot of things that you could do just by having access to the internet. So I would like to encourage them to continue learning,
Yeah.
to continue exploring what is possible with technology,
Yeah.
and just try to use their own judgment on whether or not the companies or the corporations behind certain products are actually using that in a positive way.
Yeah, due diligence is important, but yeah, like you said, like don't be scared of this new technology cannot be used for a positive way. You know, like I mean, a few years ago, you would have a cell phone, you wouldn't even think that it would connect to the internet, or like the limit was like completely limited. Now you have a smartphone and just everything that almost everything that a computer could do pretty much. So like imagine where AI is gonna be in a few years, just using it in a positive way, and it's gonna be amazing.
100%, it will be everywhere.
Yeah. All right. So like, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming here to share like some thoughts with the community. I know like from what I've seen in the feedback, they're really quite excited about like what we're building, the product. I am as well. Like I'm not only part of Skillful, but I'm gonna be using it. Like all those tools that you're releasing week by week. It actually helps me out with my day-to-day tasks. So really appreciate it myself as well. Thank you guys for tuning in, and see you guys next week with our CEO.
Yeah, thank you for having me.